You're listening to Thursday Night AMP on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
If even 4 people saw Maru, I would be happy that 4 more people saw him. I would cheer for that.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just hate that it's going to be on the 2nd because we're all going to be watching, New Japan.
Right. Well, I guess that's our segue to the G1 specials, and I know Jason looked up the cards to get the right order before we got into it, so I will tip my hat to you, Jason, to run it down, and we can talk about all of them.
Yes, indeed. We have the 2 Los Angeles shows coming up on July 1st and July 2nd. The first show, we have a team that I will call Dem Chaos Boys. We got Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe teaming with Will Ospreay, Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta taking on a very interesting Bullet Club team consisting of Marty Scurll and the Young Bucks. I really want to see how the 3 of them interact together with them being together and being the Elite. That should be some fun. And then kind of some afterthoughts of Yujiro Takahashi and Bad Luck Fale. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts from you guys on the first match?
That seems like the get everybody on the card match.
And to get the fans into the first match.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we'll get
with
some chants out of that LA crowd.
I'm sure we've got a very hardcore New Japan fan base coming to this, so there will be a lot of chants.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely hoping Marty gets a nice chant there in the first match. Second match, we've got some of the CMLL luchadors. We have Titan, Dragon Lee, Volador Jr., and they're teaming with Jushin Liger. They're taking on Los Ingobernables de Japón and Hiromu Takahashi, Bushi, King of Dancing, as Stevie likes to call him.
Yes.
Evil, and Sonata.
And Daryl will be out there somewhere.
Daryl that Hiromu will bring with him. And this is another match where I'm really interested to see how the U.S. fans react to Los Ingobernables. Are they going to be as over in the U.S. as they are in Japan in some cities?
I would be
yes.
I would be strongly shocked if they weren't anything less than mega fucking over with this crowd.
It should be good, and I'm hoping for just a good segment at some point between Hiromu and Dragon Lee that really pops the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because those two never fail to disappoint when they face off against each other.
I'm just hoping they fill up the merch stand with Bullet Club t-shirts and Los Ingobernables t-shirts, and they sell out of every last one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool, too.
All right,
then we get to like the first half then of the first round of the U.S. title tournament. The first match is Jay Lethal versus Hangman Page.
Go Hangman Page.
Yeah, Jay Lethal is not a contracted New Japan wrestler, so it's kind of odd that he's in the tournament.
Well, neither is Page.
He's part of Bullet Club, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, he's as much part of New Japan as Lethal is.
Although Page makes more appearances in New Japan than Jay Lethal does.
Yeah.
Page has frequently dropped in with his Bullet Club comrades and been in multi-man tag matches and done really sick-looking moves off the ring apron like Hangman Page does.
No, I mean, Page, he just kind of flies under everybody's radar. He is really good, and I think people just kind of overlook him a little bit.
Well, maybe this will be their chance to not overlook him when he gets a first-round win.
Over a guy Lethal that they should all know who he is. Yeah, getting a win over a name like Lethal would do a lot for Hangman Page.
Mm-hmm.
Second match of the first round of the U.S. Tag Title Tournament. This one could be a good one. We got Juice Robinson taking on Zack Sabre Jr.
Ooh. I am salivating at the prospect of watching this.
They've been pushing Juice a bit, but we all know how good Zack Sabre is. If Juice can bring it and Zack brings it, this should be fantastic.
This could be the show stealer. It could be.
I want Zack to tie him in knots with his hair.
That sounds like something Yano would do. Tie him to the ring ropes by his hair.
Can we get anybody to tie Tana to the ropes by his hair?
Depends on if he has it braided or not. Super glue it.
All right. What's our next round match?
We have the tandem back together again. Jay White and David Finlay on a team with Kushida and Hiroshi Tanahashi, taking on the Tempura Boys, a team we haven't seen in New Japan for quite some time. Sho Tanaka and Yohei Komatsu teaming with Yoshitatsu and Billy Gunn. Joy.
Oh, yeah, okay. The team with Billy Gunn can, quite literally, in the words of D-Generation X, suck it!
Well, I like Komatsu and Tanaka. I'm very interested to see them again. We haven't seen them in New Japan in over a year, so I'm interested to see them. I'm interested to see how these hardcore NJPW fans in LA react to Tanaka, Komatsu, and Jay White, guys who have been in New Japan before on excursions and now are kind of back for one night only.
I understand that, and I take your point, but just by being on a team with Billy Gunn, forget about it.
And Yoshitatsu.
Well, more Billy Gunn than Yoshi.
No, Yoshitatsu was his own lead balloon. He drags everybody around him down.
That's kind of what I feel about Billy Gunn at this point. Abby, you haven't said anything yet.
Oh, no, I wish Finjay and Sho and Yohei were teaming up together. I think that would just be great.
Yeah, if it was the four of them taking on the other four.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be much better.
Yeah.
The Young Boys reunion.
Or just, a tag team match between the four of them would be good, too. It'd be nice to see them back together.
All right, what's next?
Next is a match that we haven't seen 50,000 fucking times before. Oh, wait, I tell a lie. We have seen it 50,000 fucking times before. IWGT, the not good tag team titles, the heavyweight ones. Geez, I didn't even realize they were champions because they flip it back and forth so much. Tonga Roa and Tama Tonga taking on War Machine. Yay, joy. Like I haven't seen this 100 million times already.
Well, there is a little bit of intrigue to this one because it's come out that War Machine are no longer under contract to anybody.
Please let New Japan sign them. Please
Yes,
let New Japan
please.
sign them because they are so good in New Japan.
I would think so. I would like them to be full-time New Japan. They could still come back to Ring of Honor a year or two later if they want, but just let them go over there and run shit in Japan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would be great if War Machine went to New Japan? Team those two with Michael Elgin, and you could make those Never Six-Man titles something.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
3 just huge hoss dudes in the ring just beating the hell out of people. That would be an awesome 6-man tag team. That would get me interested once again in that Never 6-man title, hotshot title.
I think I've said this on a recent podcast, but the more interviews I read with Tama Tonga, the more I like him.
Yeah, I have no problem with Tama Tonga. It's Tonga Loa that is...
He's the lead balloon of the team, as you put it, right? He's the one that weighs them down.
He certainly is. I mean, I was fine when Tama Tonga was teaming up with Bad Luck Vale. That wasn't a bad tag team there. But yeah, Tonga Loa is just the drizzling shits.
Mm-hmm.
And when he tries his best, at his very best, he can be very average in New Japan, and that just doesn't cut the mustard. And at its worst, he sucks.
So what we need to do is break up this team and put Tama Tonga on his own.
Yeah, either have a singles run or team up with Vale again. But yeah, definitely he deserves a singles run. And
Well, we're going to see him in the G1 this year, and hopefully last year it's like he didn't find his footing until like the middle of the tournament. Hopefully this year he gets a little bit better start and leaves the sleeves at home.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in the same block with Yano, so that should be great. You know, they can do that
Oh, Lord,
Yano around
poor
the ring.
Yano.
Freaking Yano, giving Yano nightmares. That's always a fun match to watch.
Poor Yano's in the same block with Misu and Tama and Kenny, so.
Well, yeah, we can get to the blocks and all that after the G1 special shows and have some fun with that. Then up next on the show, we have the final 2 first-round matches, and these are going to be barn burners. These are going to be doozies, folks. First off, the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii takes on Tetsuya Naito. This is going to be This is what I think is going to steal the show right here.
Yeah, I amend my previous comments. I will be much more into this match, especially because Tetsuya Naito. That's why.
Yeah, Naito has had...
Ishii.
No, Naito.
Ishii is great. Naito has already had 2 matches on my match of the year list, and just putting Ishii into that mix just elevates it that much more.
I get the feeling Abby and I are at loggerheads on this one.
It's Ishii. You always root for Ishii.
Not against Naito, I don't. I root for Naito in every match he's in, ever.
I don't know, this group of 4 with Ishii and Naito and Elgin and Kenny, I don't care who wins in these matches, you're going to have a great semifinals match coming out of it.
True, yeah.
Whether it's, Elgin and Ishii or Elgin and Naito, who have great chemistry together, or Omega and Naito, who we saw have one of the matches of the year last year at the G1, or, Kenny and Ishii, who have great matches. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, I got no
Very,
problem
very
with
good.
anybody winning either of these last two matches. I'm good with it.
Yeah, as Abby alluded to, that final singles tournament round 1 match will be Michael Elgin taking on Kenny Omega.
That will be glorious.
And that leads right into the Will I Cancel NJPW World match, which is Kazuchika Okada defending the IWGP Heavyweight title against Cody, no last name needed.
You know, now that I have some time to think about the way this whole thing has been booked out, I feel like Cody Rhodes being the Ring of Honor World title champion is the best thing that could have happened, because now he's not going to win the IWGP title too.
There's some wood here I'm going to knock on, since you said that, Stevie.
I'm going with the theory they're not going to put 2 titles on him, so it makes sense now.
I would hope not, but yeah, if he wins the title, I'm canceling my NJPW World subscription until Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, that's your call, but I'm pretty firmly convinced Okada will retain, especially since this is their show to get all of the hardcore New Japan fans to come in from around the country and possibly around the world. I don't think they want to do Okada dirty like that.
I hope not.
I don't know.
Not in front of your most hardcore, most passionate fans.
Although I think their thinking is, well, they're hardcore fans, but they're also American fans. They want to see an American win. No, we want to see New Japan. We want to see unadulterated, uncut, not watered down. We want to see the New Japan that happens in New Japan, in like the Tokyo Dome or in Osaka Joe Hall. We just want to see it here in the States.
Right, and that's why I always liked the Dragon Gate USA shows and the Dragon Gate USA matches that they would have during Ring of Honor shows, is they were presented like Japanese matches. They weren't presented as, here's some Americans and some Japanese guys, and we're doing a match for you Americans. No, they were given authentic Japanese-style matches, and I enjoyed the shit out of them.
And hopefully that's what we get.
Yeah, let's just hope that Gato isn't under the assumption that Americans need moments, that's what we care about more, than anything else is a moment. No, that's not a moment we want.
Yeah, and that's a WWE mentality. Don't insert that mentality into New Japan Pro Wrestling. Please do not.
Yes, we watch New Japan to get away from WWE. We don't want you to mimic them.
Mm-hmm. We don't need a Jinder Mahal moment. No, thank you.
God, no.
Yeah, we don't need a Baron Corbin moment coming out of the G1 either.
Side note, before you go to night 2 of the G1 specials, did you see that Corbin bought Big Show's house?
I did not.
No.
And it gets stranger because apparently Big Show bought the house from Undertaker.
Okay, then.
WWE
Amityville Horror House, and he dies in it.
No, he did not buy the Amityville Horror House. Sorry.
Damn.
But they did use a very curious article to promote this on WWE's website where they said, by the laws of transitive property, does this mean Baron Corbin now owns Undertaker's yard?
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, they really stretched for that one, but whatever. Anyway, night 2 of G1 special. Oh, go ahead, Abby.
Who the hell is writing for WWE? Never mind, I don't want to know.
Not you, that's for sure.
I swear it's Dewey Foley is writing every damn thing these days.
Dewey Cheatham and Howe.
Kane Howard. Kane Dewey.
Okay, night 2.
Night 2. Okay, the best I can make of this is the 2 matches that we definitely know are going down with the participants all set. We have the good tag team titles, the junior heavyweight titles. We have the champions, the Young Bucks, defending against Roppongi Vice. I mean, I have seen that 50 million times, but at least they deliver. At least they consistently deliver good matches every time they're in the ring.
And the Young
Do we know
Bucks,
yet if this is going to be a ladder match?
I have not heard anything about that.
Yes, the Bucks were saying, let's make it a ladder match. So
let's Americanize it. Yay, no. Please don't.
Yeah, I don't think ladders make this match any better or more important. I think it's fine without them.
New Japan is not a ladder match company.
Not that we haven't seen a couple that weren't okay.
There was one that was pretty brutal, and, that's kind of enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's just been one.
Yes.
Elgin and Kenny. That's the only one that there's been.
Beautiful ladder murder.
Maybe I'm just misremembering from some other promotion like Noah or DDT, another ladder match, because I'd swear I've seen more than one.
Yeah, New Japan they made a big deal about that being their ladder match, and there hasn't been one since.
Right. Or maybe I'm just thinking
worried about Tana dying.
Right. Or maybe I'm just thinking of DDT actually having a ladder as their champion for a while.
They have had that, and a table, and a couple of other things.
Right. Okay, what was the other guaranteed match for night 2?
Other guaranteed match is a title defense of the Intercontinental title. We have the champion Hiroshi Tanahashi defending against Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn. For once, I'm going to be rooting for Tana. I'm going to be cheering hardcore for Tanahashi in this one.
Hell yes.
Me too.
I'm going to be putting on the High Fly Flow t-shirt that I don't own.
I have a feeling that we're going to get more on Sunday's card. We just don't know what it is yet.
We know we have the quarterfinals and the semifinals.
We have the semifinals.
The semifinals and then the final match for the U.S. title.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that U.S. title final will be the main event.
It would make the most sense to crown night 2 of the show by crowning a champion.
That's kind of how I would do it, but yeah, maybe they'll add some more undercard matches. Although we do have we have 3 tournament matches, so we don't know how long those will go on.
Yeah, they could be 15, 30, maybe even an hour. I don't know.
You barn burn. Yeah, they're no limit matches too.
Well, yeah, they could be an hour then.
Yeah, all of the U.S. tag title matches, from the beginning to the end, are no time limit matches. So none of them will end in time limit draws. You will not see that happen.
Good.
Unlike what you saw at Dominion.
And as far as Saturday night goes, there are umpteen different ways to watch the show on Saturday night. So there should be no problem with watching a Saturday night show. It'll be live on Access.
Also on the Fight TV mobile app. Sorry, go ahead.
It'll be live on Access starting at 8 p.m. And there's a airplane going over my back porch right now. And if you don't have Access, you can get Access via Sling TV. They have a 7-day free trial. And that'll work on your computer, your phone, your tablet, Xbox, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick. Very easy to sign up for. That's how I'm going to be watching it. Mm-hmm. Canadian citizens only can watch it on Fight TV.
On the Fight Network.
On the Fight Network, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Non-U.S. citizens, it'll be streaming live on New Japan World.
Get your VPN ready, New Japan World subscribers in the U.S.
And for everybody else. Oh, go ahead, Abby.
If you're a U.S. citizen, you can hook it up via VPN and get it on New Japan World. And I think those were the 4 ways you can get it.
Right. Fight mobile app, Fight Network, New Japan World, and Access TV. So plenty of choices.
It's not going to be on the Fight mobile app. It's going to be on Fight Network in Canada. It's not going to be on Fight mobile app. Those are 2 different things.
I'm pretty sure I got a press release saying that it was on the Fight app this weekend.
No, it's not. It's only for Canadian citizens on Fight Network.
Well, I'm talking about FITE TV, not Fight Network. They are 2 different things.
No, this is Fight Network it's going to be on. It's not going to be on Fight TV.
I really, really want
I'm almost 99.9% sure that it's not going to be.
And I'm not trying to be obstructionist here, but I'm almost 99%.
You contrarian.
I'm looking for the press release right now. This week on Fight TV, I've got a press release they sent me. Here's what it says. Available this weekend. Professional Fighters League, Impact Wrestling, ACB 63, World of Boxing, Hard Fighting Championship, Impact Wrestling, and Slammiversary.
So it's not on Fight TV?
Apparently not.
Okay,
I'm wrong.
That's what I thought.
You are right. I am wrong. I apologize.
I am always right. The sooner you admit that and just deal with it, the better off we'll all be.
Even so, that's an impressive list of things they're offering on Fight TV this weekend, so I'd still encourage people to check it out.
Yeah, so if you're not going to watch, New Japan on Sunday night, watch Slammiversary and watch Marufuji.
We're going to segue straight from that into a discussion of all the matches that have been announced for Block A and Block B of the G1 Climax.
Oh boy, alrighty.
The most wonderful time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I was going to leave it 20 y'all to sing because I wasn't going to do it.
I got you covered.
Well, Jason's definitely the better singer of the three of us, I think. I'm not a singer. I like to sing, but I'm not a good singer.
Well, let's run down the A and the B block, and then we can run down the matches day by day if you'd like.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Block A, we've got Bad Luck Fale, Hiroki Goto, Kota Ibushi, not Tiger Mask W, but actually Kota Ibushi. That was kind of the one and only surprise of the blocks, but yeah, Kota Ibushi, Block A. Also in Block A, Tomohiro Ishii, Togi Makabe, Yuji Nagata, Tetsuya Naito, Zack Sabre Jr., I'm glad he's in Block A. I really want to see him and Ibushi face off, and rounding out Block A, Yoshihashi. Block B, we've got Michael Elgin. We've got Stevie's favorite wrestler, the King of Dancing, Evil. Satoshi Kojima, Kazuchika Okada, Kenny Omega. They are in the same block. That will be interesting.
Yes.
That would be a great match, but it leads for some interesting possibilities should Kenny beat Okada but not win the tournament. Juice Robinson is also in Block B, as is Sonata, Minoru Suzuki, Tama Tonga, and Toru Yano.
Yes, and we have some wonderful matches coming out of these blocks. And they've saved like the best matches for the last day of each block. The real main events for the last day.
As they
should look down the cards that are listed. One that I'm seeing that jumps out kind of early. This is on July 22nd, and it's just this could be a fun match. Minoru Suzuki versus Sonata.
There will be a lot of death.
That will be a beautiful murder match right there. That one kind of jumped out at me as an early round. I'm just scrolling through these here. Yoshihashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. July 23rd. I think that has the potential to be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Zack Sabre Jr. isn't technically a junior heavyweight, but neither is Yoshihashi. They could be. It's two of the smaller guys going at it, and it could be a nice high-paced match there if they want it to be. Anything else jumping out at me here?
I want to see Ishii and Nagata because I think it was on Monday's Kazuna Roadshow, or maybe it was the previous one. They had an exchange in one of the matches that they had. It's like, oh my God, please let them be in the same block because I really want to see them go at it. Because I don't remember seeing Nagata and Ishii fight in a singles match before.
Yeah,
God, that one exchange they had was so good, and it's like, I need to see more of this.
That could be some beautiful murder there, too. And then, on the 26th, poor Tacos is just going to get killed by Ishii.
Nothing wrong with that.
Poor Tacos. Poor Tacos.
Oh, well, can we get Goto killed by Tanahashi in that same card? Why not?
Goto better not be a spoiler in the A block.
No.
July 27th, there's a good match between Elgin and Omega, a rematch of their round one match for the U.S. title tournament, so that might have something to play on there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Misu versus Evil. I'm excited about that.
On the 27th. That could be fun. Naito versus Ishii on the 29th could be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another rematch there. What else do we have here? Anything going down the card?
Juice Robinson and Okada on the 30th. That could be fun.
Tana and Ibushi. Maybe Abby would know this. Have they wrestled in New Japan before? And did they do well?
Yes, they have, and it was beautiful.
Because that's one that I think can really elevate Tana, and I'm looking forward to seeing that August 1st.
Yes, I'm waiting on in A block. I want Ibushi and Zack because we could have had that in the Cruiserweight Classic and didn't. So it's like New Japan going, nanny. Hey, look, WWE, you promised this last year, but look what we're doing.
That's the one I'm most looking forward to.
But Ibushi and Zack
versus Ibushi.
Ibushi and Naito and Ibushi and Tana. That's what I'm really looking forward to in A block.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Ishii and Nagata and Goto and nobody. Goto better not spoil Ibushi's run this year, You
guys have poisoned me so much on Goto now that every match that I look at that he's in, I want his opponent to win.
Here's one I'm liking. August the 5th. Minoru Suzuki versus Michael Elgin.
Yes.
That could be another beautiful murder match right there.
They really put the interesting matches on the opening nights of both blocks and the closing nights of both blocks.
Oh, yeah, because B Block final night is Okada and Omega, Misu and Yano.
Yano and Misu. It's like the war continues.
Yeah, Elegant and Juice.
They saved the big one.
Yeah, that card on the B Block final night is awesome.
Yes. I am hoping that, Misu ends up tied to a guardrail with athletic tape. Again.
Yano's a little ship disturber when it comes to Suzuki, but yeah. Hopefully
It's
he
like
gets
Yano is his
again.
kryptonite. Yano is Suzuki's kryptonite. He can't beat him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Kenny and Yano because that's my favorite match of the year every year. Do not ask me why, because it's so stupid and ridiculous and crazy, but it is so great. I just love it. And, Misu and Kenny, which is a first-time deal, which will be very, very interesting to say the least.
Oh, yes.
God, yeah, the two leaders of the respective heel factions facing off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there will be English commentaries on the show for those who actually enjoy that sort of thing. The 17th, the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, and then not again until the August 11th, August 12th, and then the final show on August 13th.
I say no thank you to that. I want Shinpei Nogami on every show.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll get Masachono to drop by again.
Why not?
Didn't he and Muta show up at the finals last year?
I know he showed up at Dominion, did he not?
Chono showed up at Dominion.
Yeah, Chono did, not Muta, but Chono did. I think they may have.
I think they showed up the finals last year. I can't remember though. Yes, I think the blocks this year are a lot more evenly matched than they were last year.
They sure are. I mean, I was afraid, we would get a block with Bad Luck Fale,
Makabe,
Evil, yeah. Well,
Nagata.
Nagata, but they could have taken Naito out and, swapped in Evil. They could have taken Satoshi Kojima and swapped him for Kota Ibushi and put him in. I mean, they could have really stacked it, but the way they did it, there's good matches. There's a lot of good matches that can come out of each block.
Yeah, I think they've spread the wealth well. Go ahead.
I'm so glad they kept Ibushi and Omega out of the same block.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is too big of a deal to have in a tournament match. Of course, Omega Okada 3 is too big to be in a tournament match too, but that could go a lot of different ways that could prove to be interesting down the line.
I've already suspected the finish to that one is going to be another draw.
Probably.
No.
That or Omega wins. I mean, there's just so many things, so many ways it could go. I mean, feasibly, there's only 3 people that could win the tournament.
Naito.
Naito, Omega, Okada.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you think Okada would pick for his opponent if he won?
He'd pick Omega.
Naito could win to kind of get payback for, Wrestle Kingdom 9, where his main event was pushed aside for Shinsuke and Tana for the IC match.
Mm-hmm.
Or Okada could win and then pick Omega to be his opponent. Or Okada could win and lose to Omega during the tournament and then get his rematch. Omega gets his rematch for the briefcase and yada, yada, yada. It just could go any way, but one of those 3 is the winner because those are the only 3 that could sell out the dome.
What if Gato does something just completely nuts and has somebody else win G1, but then has Omega or has Naito win the briefcase between the G1 final and Wrestle Kingdom?
That's too WWE of them. I don't think they should do that.
I don't think they should. I'm just saying you never know with Gato.
If you do that, you're turning the person who has their guaranteed title shot into Mr. Anderson. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to really mess with somebody that way.
Right.
I can't remember a time when the briefcase was won off of someone.
Yeah, I mean, they've had challenges for it, like when Tanahashi had it, but yeah, it's
yeah, and then, last year Omega and Goto fought for it after, I think they did that at King of Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but the way I see it, it can only come down. Naito's got to win his block, and then either Okada or Omega win B block.
I'm good with all of those.
I'm gonna pick Tetsuya Naito to win it. I guess I got to pick somebody from the other block, but yeah, I picked Naito to win it outright, and yeah, I will be safe and say it comes down to Kenny Omega and Naito goes over.
I got no objections to that.
I'm still thinking Okada may win it. Or even Kenny and have back-to-back winners, because we haven't had that since Tana did it in, I think, 2003, 2004, 2005, something like that. I'm just looking forward to G1 starting, so, we can all be extremely sleep-deprived and zombified by the time it's over.
Yeah,
and maybe this year I won't get locked out of my house.
First night is at 2 a.m., and then most of them are at 5:30, a few here and there at 5 a.m., one at 3:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 4 a.m., they're all over the map.
Maybe this year I won't get locked out of my house during one of the shows.
I remember
it seems to be like it seems to be a running
thing
for the last couple of years. I get locked out of my house one morning during the show.
All right, guys, I want to turn this on its head a little bit. We've already talked about who we want to win Block A and Block B, but let's do the opposite. Who's going to go 0 for the tournament or only get 2 points? Who's going to be at the bottom?
Let's look at Block A here. I don't see Nagata getting a whole lot of points. I don't think he needs them in Block A. Bad Luck Fale. I mean, he got points last year, but they never did anything with him. I can see him not getting a bunch of points in Block A. See Block B. I hope it's not Tamatanga. Yeah, Kojima. I can see that. For the same reason, Nagata. He's kind of the elder statesman and doesn't really need it. Yeah, Juice.
Maybe Makabe, although he always ends up kind of at the top.
Sonata, I can see them not doing much with him.
That would be a crying shame.
It is. He's kind of getting lost in the shuffle, and that's really sad.
But yeah, I tend to agree with you that I would put Kojima or Juice at the bottom of Block B, and in Block A, I would go with either Goto or Fale for the bottom of that.
Can we just kick Goto out of the tournament completely?
Like I said earlier, every match that he's got slotted in any of those shows, I look at his opponent and go, I want you to win, not him.
Can we just trade him to Noah for Maro the Butcher?
Why not? Why can't we get Maro the Butcher on every show? Everywhere. I want him on all things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys,
he and Nakajima were good in the tournament last year. It's going to be different without them in it this year, especially Maro.
Yes. That's the major things I can think of for Thursday Night AMP this week. So unless Abby's got some news items that we haven't covered, I think we're good.
I'm thinking of news. Paige and Del Rio broke up, but now they're back together again.
Well, it's being intimated that they never broke up at all because they looked very happy together at the Combate Americas show.
Oh, yeah, but, they broke up, then they didn't break up, or they broke up, but I don't know. It was all just stupid.
There's a Method Man song about that called Breakups to Makeups. That's pretty much Paige and Alberto.
They're either perfect for each other or they're doomed to failure. I don't think there's much gray area with those two.
Probably not. Now,
I don't know of any big news. Like I said, these last couple of weeks I've been otherwise occupied, so I haven't been paying much attention.
Well, I can give you one piece of news that you might look forward to on the 4th of July.
If it's Cena coming back, I don't want to hear about it.
No, it's better than that. It's okay. The expected winner of the Independence Day Battle Royal is AJ Styles.
Woohoo! Poor AJ and his problematic self, though.
What are you referring to?
No, everybody started hating on AJ yesterday for a tweet he liked on Twitter.
I missed that controversy. What was the tweet about?
Oh, it was some kind of... It was either racist or homophobic or Islamophobic or something. He unliked it after about 8 hours, but it was one of those things where, oh God, just don't,
Well, we've always known that AJ is at least a little bit of a homophobe, so that's not really, it shouldn't be news or revelation to anybody.
No, but I mean, everybody yesterday was like, oh God, now we just hate him. It's like, he's been this way for a long time. And we know he's been this way for a long time. And, well, how can you appreciate his talent when he's such a horrible, human being? It's like, oh my God, just stop. Just stop.
He didn't go out and murder anybody and do anything truly despicable. So I'm not endorsing the fact that he might hold homophobic views, but if he doesn't express them on television in front of a viewing audience, then okay.
Again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again.
I don't know. It was just, that was the big thing yesterday, and I think he needs to win the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Something. Something needs to happen.
That's why I like the idea of him winning the tournament on Tuesday and then having a nice month-long program leading up to Battleground. Him and Kevin Owens going back and forth would be some good stuff.
Uh-huh.
It would give me a reason to actually watch SmackDown because I haven't been very enthusiastic about it.
It's still the better show to me. I don't know if that's because it's shorter or just makes more sense, but...
Yeah, it's the gender thing that's probably killing it for me because... Him and Baron Corbin are two reasons to make me not want to watch that show.
Yeah, and then the whole Punjabi prison match coming back.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even touch on that yet, did we? I guess we should.
No.
Well, we touched on it last week, but, this week it actually became true because somebody reputable reported it.
Oh, we knew they were going that way. We always knew.
Yes. It was reported long before.
In the history of the WWE.
It's a good thing they only have this match once every 10 years, because more often I would not want.
It's just it's a ridiculous, ridiculous match.
And it also fosters ridiculous stereotypes, because even if we were to believe that Jinder Mahal was Indian from India, which he's not everybody in India is Punjab.
Don't tell that to Vince.
Yeah, well... Don't tell most things to Vince.
You can't tell anything to Vince.
Yeah.
Or Al Snow or Road Dogg or any of these guys.
Oh, God, I don't even want to get into Al Snow. I'm so up the fuck to here with him right now.
That's why I said you can't tell these people anything. Just they live in their own little bubble.
Well, since you brought it up, I'm going to say this. I don't feel like I should be lectured to by a man whose greatest accomplishment in the world of professional wrestling was to hold up a mannequin and get the crowd to chant for oral sex.
Well, he knows more than all of us combined, so...
Yeah.
Or at least according to him.
I've never bought the argument that you can't criticize it if you haven't done it. I don't need to be a musician to know I don't like certain songs. I don't need to be a wrestler to know I don't like certain matches. I don't have to do the things that I criticize. That's not how it works.
According to him, it is. Of course, that and, him saying yesterday that working for the WWE is not an actual job. It's an imaginary job. Well, that's where I got lost yesterday with what he said.
I think he was trying to draw a distinction and a technicality, and fine, okay, you're a contracted independent talent, theoretically. But we all know the reality of the situation is that if you're under contract, you're not going out and choosing your own dates. You're going where WWE tells you to go and doing what they tell you to do. So his distinction... How
they tell you to do it.
Yeah, so his distinction is entirely meaningless. They are hiring you and they are firing you. You can call it whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just seems like all the idiots are running loose and they're free range these days, and they kind of need supervision and a fence.
Yes. Well, whatever with Al Snow. He's been very rude to people that I'm friends with in the past for no good reason other than they made the mistake of using one insider term during a conversation with him, and he thinks he's the vanguard of professional wrestling, and how dare any of these marks use our language. Well, fuck you, Al Snow. That cat got out of the bag 20 years ago. It's not 1997 anymore. You can't go back to before there was an internet wrestling community. It doesn't work.
They wish it was like that, though, where they were still the be-all, end-all.
I don't even think they were the be-all, the end-all 15, 20 years before that. I think there's always been people reporting on this going back to even before Wrestling Observer. I think that a lot of people just live in this fantasy world where it's, okay, since we're on the subject, Eric Bischoff gave this example, which is either really bad or really hilarious. I don't know which, but he compared it to going to a David Copperfield show and paying for tickets and being all excited because you're getting to see this great magician, and then 20 minutes before the show, the stagehand comes out and tells you, "We're so glad you spent hundreds of dollars to come here and watch the great David Copperfield. Here's how he does all his tricks." Well, I don't know that I buy that explanation. I get what Bischoff is trying to drive at, that you want to suspend your disbelief and enjoy the entertainment, but the problem is what he's making a comparison to is not valid, because in actuality, we go to watch things all the time where we suspend our disbelief. We don't go to movie theaters and sit there thinking about where the camera is pointed and how that scene was lit and whether the actor is delivering their lines well or not, because we allow ourselves to suspend disbelief. If the product is good, you can do that. And when wrestling is good, you can do that. It's only when it's bad that you start noticing what's bad about it.
Yeah, and you want something that entertains you. And the problem is it's not about entertaining anymore.
Yeah, it's become bad, which makes you notice all the flaws in it and analyze them.
I think it was Dave Lagana that asked yesterday on Twitter, what is it in wrestling that is most lacking these days, or what do you find most lacking in wrestling these days? And I shot him an answer back. It's like the complete lack of anything resembling common sense. You know, I mean, give us a little bit of consistency. Treat us like we have a brain. Because we're not all idiot turnips in a field somewhere, you know, which Vince, I think, thinks we are.
Right. Don't give us storylines where wins and losses don't matter and we're not supposed to remember what happened 2 weeks ago, 2 months, or 2 years ago. Treat us like we know what we're watching. Even soap operas. Even soap operas do a better job of this, which is ironic because soap opera writers are the ones writing wrestling now.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of common sense goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. And for God's sake, book things that we can actually get invested in and care about. Meaningful feuds with characters that we enjoy watching. Give them reasons to fight with each other and let it evolve organically. Don't come up with ridiculous, convoluted bullshit like a House of Horrors match that nobody gives a fuck about.
Pretty much.
Oh, well, I'm glad we got that off our chests. I feel better now. So that's a perfect way to wrap up this show. Abby, what do you have to plug this week?
I will plug Top Rope Press. You can find me there. I'm getting back into the swing of things now after a couple of weeks of being completely out of it, pretty much. You can find me on Twitter at Abby A. I will plug New Japan World, the best 999 yen you can spend a month. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to plug this week. I'll plug High Spots because they have a great Bruiser Brody documentary this month. And High Spots is another streaming service. Great content on it once you delve into it and finally start looking around with it. But yes, the Bruiser Brody documentary is definitely worth, I think it's less than, I thought $9.49 a month, maybe a little less. Definitely worth it.
Is that the one with his wife talking about his life and times? Then, yeah, go out of your way to watch that because I've seen some clips and it's really good.
It's really, really good.
So, Jason, what do you have to plug this week?
I'll plug myself on Twitter at Great Sudoku. Abby already got the best 999 yen plug in there. I'll plug AngryMarks.com, and of course I will plug the Canadian Football League. Watch that on the ESPN app online or streaming on TSN.
Well, since neither one of y'all plugged it, I will plug ICW and Progress. Subscribe to their streaming and watch their shows because you will get fantastic professional wrestling. And that's what we want. Fantastic pro wrestling, not convoluted bullshit. Which is why you should also get New Japan World. It's less than $10 a month, and you will love the hell out of it. But that's Thursday Night AMP for myself, Stevie J, for Abby, for Jason, and for our guest, Jordan, for Jordan's Corner, and for our producer, Killicaff. Thank you one and all, and have a good night.